Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to SBID, or Sawyer Breaks It Down, number 7. Now, this is a little series of videos that I like to do where I talk about stuff that I find I want to talk about either the video game industry or movie industry, mostly movie industry, and all the stuff that goes on. And for this episode, I would like to talk about the Avengers Endgame smashes box office records, because the film did come out last weekend. And I was going to do a video right then, but I decided to just wait a few days to see how this thing really plays out. And boy, this movie's making so much cash. It is insane. So I'm going to show you some charts that I found. Now, the sources that I looked at was obviously Box Office Mojo. They're like the definitive source for people that are really into this type of stuff to look up and research. But I thought I'd show some graphs from there. And also Screen Junkies News, who I saw they turned their name to Fandom Entertainment, because I heard that Fandom bought out Screen Junkies around a year ago. I guess now they're finally going in to change the name, so that's interesting. But yeah, the series that I like to watch is Charting with Dan, where Darren Merrill, who's one of the people that works at Screen Junkies News, or Fandom Entertainment now, and someone else that works there, they just like to talk about each week and what happens with box office. And last week was obviously for Avengers Endgame, so they broke down some really interesting charts. Some of them, as you'll see throughout the video, I talked about because they're a little outdated, but I updated you on some of them. And then at the end of the video, I'll show you how much the film has made as of recording this video, which is Saturday, a week later. So I believe it's May 5th or May 4th or something like that. But without further ado, let's get right into the charts. So yeah, as you guys can see, this movie opened insanely high. It opened to over $300 million, which I was predicting, but 357, that's literally, as you can see, literally almost 100 million more. It's only by a couple 100,000 that it missed, but basically 100 million more than Avengers Infinity War did, which that was the highest opening film domestically of all time. So just, that is probably one of the hugest records for this film so far in its run. And I just find that really amazing and really great, because this really is an end of an era for a lot of these characters that we've grown to love over the past 11 years of storytelling, over 20 films. It's just truly remarkable, and I'm just really flabbergasted. And I'm so glad that this movie, which is a movie I really loved, is doing so well. So as you can see here, here's some of the daily numbers. Now, a lot of these charts I got from either Screen Junkies News / Fandom Entertainment, whatever they're calling themselves, or Box Office Mojo. I thought they did really great jobs breaking down the charts and summing it up for us to look at. So I just wanted to take this into perspective. This is basically the Friday, Saturday, Sunday numbers. This is for the 5 biggest opening films. As you can see, Avengers Endgame is like almost 30-40 million higher than Force Awakens for Friday, which Friday, Force Awakens was the biggest, but now it's Endgame. It's completely insane. And out of all these films, Endgame is the only one to have over 100 million for a Saturday. And it's by Sunday, it's 90 million. It's just truly insane about how much money that this film has been making. I'm so glad. It's really crazy. Everyone in the industry apparently was in a complete state of shock, quote unquote. That's what Deadline was saying. And I find that hilarious that they're still underestimating the power of Marvel Studios these days. But wow, even the hardcore fans like myself wasn't expecting these kind of numbers. Like, this is just truly insane. Like, this is so awesome. I thought while we're here, we could also take a look at these numbers. Now, this is for all-time single-day grosses. I find it hilarious that Endgame has 2 of the highest single-day grosses, because its Friday was 157 million, which was the highest period, but its Saturday is also number 3 for the highest. I mean, in all, I just find that really fascinating that it took up 2 of the 5 slots. And apparently they mentioned in their video, which I highly recommend you check out, they did a video. They have the series called Charting with Dan, where Darren Merrill and someone else that works there or whatever breaks the box office down week to week. And they were mentioned in this video how apparently they have another spot in the top 10. So they have 3 of the top 10 for this movie. It's truly insane. But anyways, I just find this really interesting how it has 2 of the slots here. Like, that's crazy. Now, here's basically to sum up all the records that it's broken. They really great charts. So this is why I recommend you guys check out their videos, because they do really great charts. They seem to care more than most people do probably, but I like seeing breakdowns of this as well, but this is a little outdated on Monday when they do their next video. I'm assuming it'll be much more better, but this is all the records it broke in just its opening weekend. And then near the end, I'll get to how much money it's made so far. But yeah, obviously it had the highest opening weekend of all time, as you saw, $357 million. It had the highest opening of all time worldwide. It opened to over $1.2 billion in just 3 days or something. That's insane. Apparently it had the highest per theater average of all time. I think it was in the 70,000s for a wide release, that is. It had the highest opening weekend market share. Previously, I heard that was Age of Ultron by 85%. So basically 89.7% of the movie everyone was talking about and watching for money-wise at the box office in one weekend, which is insane. That's almost 100%. It's crazy. It had the first, third, and seventh highest single-day grosses. Yep. So as you saw, they said first, third, and another one was in the top 10 as well. For that Sunday, it made $90 million. So that was number 7 all time. Highest Friday, Saturday, and Sunday grosses of all time. Since it opened to over $350 million in 3 days, it was the fastest to 100, 200, 250, 300, and $350 million. And to update you guys, by this week, it's at 500 and something million domestic. So it's also the fastest to 400, 450, and $500 million. It's ahead. It's pacing ahead of Force Awakens by just a few days, by like 2 days or something. So it's having great word of mouth. Obviously, it got like an A+ last time I saw. So everyone's just really hyped about this film. It's getting tons of love, and everyone's wanting to continuously go back and see it. I know I've seen it about 3 or 4 times now. I loved it so much. It had the highest opening weekend in a ton of markets in different countries, including China. China, it's made over $500 million, like 500 million plus, which is insane. So that also makes it the highest foreign film in China, basically. So it's the first film to ever cross $1 billion in its opening weekend. 5th highest MCU film in just 5 days. So obviously updated, as we'll soon see. So here's it updated, guys. As you could see, I just took this picture as I'm filming today, because a lot of those were from like on Monday and all. But here's the recent amount of money it's made so far. It's literally less than 100 million from $2 billion. It's made 1.4 billion just overseas. Domestically, it's made over 500 million, like I just said. And by the end of the day, it will probably pass Infinity War and Force Awakens to be the number 3. It'll definitely pass Titanic. And then the real thing that we're going to be looking at is to see, will it finally pass Avatar, after Avatar having the top spot for over about a decade, I'd say. Yeah, about a decade since it was released in 2009. I find this truly insane. This is definitely box office history. We've never seen a film do this kind of business before. Like, we've seen like Infinity War and Force Awakens get into $2 billion, just barely though. This film's gonna do that in spades. There's questions if it could hit $3 billion. If it actually does hit $3 billion, that would be just insane. Like, that would be no film will ever be able to do that, at least for another decade. Or maybe Marvel could do it again. I don't even know if, Marvel themselves, Disney and everyone like that worked on the film and stuff that own it, they're all flabbergasted that the film is doing this well. Like when I said the entire industry is in a complete state of shock, as Deadline said, that includes Disney. They had no idea that they had this much money on their hands with this film. They expected a lot of money to be made from this, but potentially $3 billion before, selling merchandise and all that kind of stuff, and DVDs and Blu-ray and streaming. It's just insane. Like, this movie is doing so much business. I'm so glad. It's truly a feat for what Marvel Studios has been able to do in their 11-year history. It's so remarkable, and just how they were able to capture this formula for everyone to just they want to go see it. Like, this is like an event that you have to go, that you can't miss. It's truly astounding. I'm so glad for them, and this is just fantastic. So, with all you guys seeing that, what'd you all think of Avengers Endgame doing all this? This is truly fascinating. I'm so incredibly proud of everyone at Marvel Studios for being able to accomplish something that seemed really impossible, to just make a series like this, and all of them to make not only so much cash, but for like the big team up kind of films where everyone will just want to go see it. Like, a film opened to over 350 million actually, over $1 billion in 3 days. it's about to make 2 billion, as you saw. Like by the end of today, probably it will make 2 billion. It'll definitely pass Avengers Infinity War, Star Wars Force Awakens, and Titanic for sure. But we'll just have to see if they'll be able to pass Avatar. If it actually passes Avatar, that'll be insane. Like it's just crazy. Like we're in a new era for like the big boys in film, and it's obviously superhero films, most notably Marvel Studios superhero films, because it's just insane. Like I mean, just growing up, you would never expect to see something like this, because I remember when I saw the first Iron Man in theaters, it was so great, and I was like, oh, that would be cool. Oh, the Avengers Initiative. Oh, that's gonna be fun. Who would have thought that we would actually get that, let alone this with like all these sorts of characters, and half of them I had no idea existed before. It's just, wow. It's just crazy what people could do if they're really talented with something and they just put all their heart and love and energy into something. It was just this is like a really inspiring type of story that's happened in Hollywood with Kevin Feige and Luis Despacito and all these other people that worked on these films. The directors, obviously, throughout. You have the Jon Favreau, James Gunn, the Russo brothers, who directed both of these Avenger films and 2 of the Cap films. So, and I hear this is their last film, and if it is, this was a great way to send off, not just financially, but also creatively, and it was just really good. So I'm glad to see a film that I love and all, doing this well at the box office and with critics and all. But yeah, let me guys know down below, what do you all think of how Avengers is performing? It's performing. Are you surprised by how well it's performing, or are you shocked, like how apparently the entire industry is, as I've said earlier? But it's just funny that they're still shocked by this kind of stuff. Or just like let me know your thoughts down below. It's hard to think of stuff to say because it's just quite an achievement, and it's just really crazy. But yeah, if you could hit the subscribe button, that'd be pretty great. Hit the bell as well so you can get a notification on when I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's Sawyer Sable or @SableSawyer. Again, thank you all so much for watching my video. It's a bit scrambled and all. I thought I'd get a video like this out. And plus, I didn't really see a movie this weekend, so it could kind of be a tide over, because the next film I'm seeing will definitely be Detective Pikachu. I've been really looking forward to that film, so hopefully it doesn't disappoint. But yeah, with all that said, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.